Hello everybody, thank you so much for being here at the West Des Moines Chamber of Commerce's CEO Insight Series. We're so happy you could join us today. We have with us Tom Hadden, City Manager of West Des Moines, the City of West Des Moines, the best Des Moines, and we're so excited that he's here today. So Tom, tell us a little bit about you and how you became to be City Manager of West Des Moines.
Well, how far back do you want to go? I'm from Des Moines originally, and graduated from Hoover High School. Went to Iowa State University with the idea in mind that I was going to save the world environmentally. I was a biology major and did those courses. Of course, that didn't work out because there wasn't a big demand for people at that time. So what do you do after you get a biology degree? You go to DC and work for the FBI for a couple of years. Now, could have become an agent, but after 2 years I worked in the serology lab. At the time, it was very interesting. It was great to work at DC, and live in the area, lived in Virginia, and so historical aspects were tremendous. But then decided, would I want to stay there for a long time with the traffic and everything else? We decided to come back, and I went to graduate school in engineering with water and wastewater as emphasis. So went there, and then had some gigs in Minnesota for the Pollution Control Agency, DNR, and then had first city job was in Altoona. So Altoona, first city minister ever hired there for 12 years. And there's a lot of activity happening, including when this Prairie Meadows started. So you do about every job in a smaller community, so it was great training for me. Became the director at Metro Waste Authority, the regional solid waste agency for 18 years, and then had the opportunity to come back to the city government in 2014 and took it, and I was this is one of the few jobs I would take anywhere, would be the city of West Des Moines. So I had the opportunity, I took it, and I haven't looked back. So.
And you've been at the City of West Des Moines for how long now?
6 years.
6
plus years. Yeah.
Okay, you've seen probably a lot of change over that time. Yeah.
We've had some of the biggest record-setting valuation and building years ever in the history of the city during that time, and part of that is because of Microsoft coming into the picture, and of course their valuations are significant and very helpful to the tax base for our citizens and businesses.
Love it, and it's amazing and fascinating to learn what is now happening in the future of West Des Moines and all the growth and development. Even though there is COVID, we're still planning for an exciting future for West Des Moines. Can you tell us a little bit about maybe what the next 6 years might look like for West Des Moines?
During this time, I'll tell you about, I was a cross-country runner in high school, believe it or not. I was on a really good team, best in the state. And the coach, where we practice at Waveland Golf Course in Des Moines, if you know about that, and it's named Waveland for a reason. But when we trained there, what we learned to do was run up hills faster than anybody. So when we had a meet, we would run by somebody at a fast clip and then it demoralize them, and we kept going. So it was a psychological deal too, but what I'm telling that story for, because West Des Moines, we're like that. Yes, we're faced with COVID and some tough situations, and what we do is we keep going, keep moving forward. We're in the process of, we're building a RecPlex. It's going to come finalized in early 21, and that's going to be significant for the city of West Des Moines and the region. And we've put in a boathouse at the Blue Heron Lake and amphitheater on the city school campus. So those are amenities, and we're going to continue building on paths and bridges that connect other, like the Great Western Trail and others. That's going to continue. A vision for basically a giant green central park along Racoon River over the time, where we'll take the floodplains out of commission as far as just having green areas and parks and trails there. That's longer term, but that's going to be happening. So, and with lakes, because the quarries become lakes. And as far as on the business side of it, we're continually trying to improve how we work with businesses and be flexible, and like we're working right now on our fiber project to put in, well, it's more the conduit project. It's put conduit all throughout the city so everybody has access to fiber or to those companies when when we get that in. So that's going to be a 2.5 year. It's a major project, and I think that's we learned from COVID that we always knew that people were going to be using computers and such for their businesses and education, but it just it just went to the nth degree now. So the city's going to be more prepared than ever at the steps in that area. We're finishing a comprehensive plan, which helps us make decisions on land use planning and good use of our resources. We're taking that in consideration because we're moving into areas that are very, the topography is tougher, but it also has some very beautiful natural benefits that the community can enjoy also. So we got the eye on the future, and we keep pushing ourselves to keep ahead of the game and bring quality growth to the community.
And it's so exciting. Businesses that want to move here, like Des Moines University is going to be.
That's exciting.
So exciting, and yeah.
Des Moines University, we have a medical school in our community. It's still called Des Moines University, but it's part of our community. It will be as they built it, and the Grand Avenue corridor is going to be significant in the growth. So the education unit's huge to us, and we have DMACs already there. And we're part of a number of great school systems. We have the West Des Moines school system. We have a big share of the student body at Waukee. I don't know if people realize that, but everything west of 60th is in the Waukee School District. The Dowling is here. We have kids that go to Norwalk. We have kids that go probably to the Winterset, possibly in Van Meter. And so we have school districts. You could go to about choose your district when you move to the community, which of course education's very important for us to have a solid base on that.
Well, and I didn't realize that West Des Moines there's 4 counties that make up West Des Moines, right? And
right.
So isn't that interesting? Yeah.
It's Polk, Dallas, where the Polk is a major part of our population, and we have over 1/3 of our population in Dallas County. And now as we move south, it'll be more people will be in Warren and Madison County.
Okay, amazing. So a lot of growth happening,
Right.
A lot of cool things, amazing. So you mentioned COVID, rocked everybody's world. How did COVID affect the city and you? You're in charge of so many people that helped to run a smooth city. How did COVID affect you?
Well, COVID, we were on top of that before it became, probably in January, we started talking about how we were going to deal with that. And of course, our EMS services, they don't get to take a break. They can't go shelter at home. So police, fire, and EMS rescue, 911 rescue, they're all still in play. So we had to make sure they're protected, safe when they're out there dealing with the public, as they still are, because this isn't going away as fast as we would like, of course. And then the rest of our operations, we adjusted with people working from home. First we closed for a while, but we opened the city back up June 1st, which we've been open more than any other city in the metro area. Our facilities, our city hall's been open since June 1st. Our library's been open a lot of the time, and they've been adjusting to facilitate that. But we're trying to work, we keep things very clean. We rotate staff. We don't have everybody in a building at the same time. And so we're trying to be smart in that way, but also then provide services to our constituents at a really high level, which I think we've succeeded in doing.
So, what do you think sets West Des Moines apart? We're part of a greater community, a lot of amazing cities around us. What do you think sets us apart from the cities?
I think when people travel, you'll travel different parts of the country or see different communities. And I think things that when you remember a community, a lot of times what you'll remember about a community is it really well maintained? You feel safe? In West Des Moines, we have standards. We have pretty high standards that sometimes we have to kind of battle for in the development community, that maybe our standards are too high, makes it harder to develop. But on the other hand, people want to live here and be here and work here. So I think with such standards, we do have standards, and we keep trying to apply those, and so we can differentiate ourselves from others. All our public areas, we try to take care of the best we possibly can. And our transportation system, we're state of the art. People think we have a lot of traffic, and we do, because we grow, because we have a lot of people who work here and shop here. but we have adaptive signals on our lights which adjust the traffic to flow to what it is. So all those things set us apart, and when you just see it, you just have a feeling that, man, this city's being taken care of and treats its folks, residents well.
I remember our very first interview, Dan Houston was talking about urban planners and how they were very strategic when it came to West Des Moines and being very thoughtful with our urban planning, and it shows. So like we're in the West Glen district here, you know,
Right.
a distinct entertainment district, and yeah, so we have a lot of those very captive and interesting entertainment districts in West Des Moines, a lot of them.
Right, and what's cool about our city employees is that they really go the extra mile for service and to look at how we can be a better community. Our planning department, engineering, I could name them all. Public services, who takes care of the streets and the parks and the library. And we got a great EMS department. They're all certified in their respective areas, police, fire, and EMS. So our standards are high, and our employees like to be part of a team that have high expectations. That's what we do.
Well, you're doing an incredible job. You know, this has got to be a super challenging time, but the survey that just came out also that ranked West Des Moines, the satisfaction survey from our citizens was super high and well above average.
Right.
So
Yes, 40 points higher than the average in the country. So, and that's this expectations are we got to keep it up there, and we want to do that. And it's fun to have be up there. It's one time this facilitator said, if you know anything about baseball, 27 Yankees were one of the best teams ever, and we were at a city manager conference, and she came up to me and says, it's kind of hard being a 27 Yankees, isn't it, Tom? And it's just like, yes, because expectations are, if you're good, you better stay good, because you know everybody's kind of shooting at you. So, but you know that's where you want to be.
I love it. So what are you most excited about for the future of West Des Moines? What gets you really excited?
I just think to continue that our council, our elected officials support quality of life that are very helpful for people wanting to live. You know, it's changed over the years. People they choose where they want to live first sometimes instead of work, but we have great opportunities for really great jobs. So I'm excited that we have, and we're getting more diversity in the community. I think a strong, diverse community, if you're welcoming and inclusive, you're going to be a better city for it and compete economically and every other way, and makes the community more rich. So there's a lot of exciting things happening in West Des Moines, and it's just, you know, I'm so proud to be part of it. And when I end my stay here and can look back, I'll be very proud of what we've accomplished, and I know they'll just keep on going, really, and because we have great people.
Great people and great momentum, and yeah, and so I love that growth trajectory and everybody working really hard for a bright future, especially now. So thank you so much, Tom, for being here and helping us paint the picture for our beautiful city now and into the future. And we just really appreciate your time today. And thank you so much for being part of the CEO Insight series. Thank you to Tom, and we hope you tune in for more episodes. So take care.